So, now, Craig, are there any thoughts about your next topic? When you think of what you're going to do for your next article, do you take notes during the week before, or do you suddenly come up with a brainwave on the weekend, or what's your routine?
I'm scheduled out about 3 months. I may have something that comes up that I really want to write on, but for the most part, I am well ahead of the game. I may need to go back and just do a few things or pull a few clips, but for the most part, I'm already writing for October at this point.
So that far ahead in your thinking.
Yeah. So if you're reading something on the newsletter, there's a good one. I've probably already tested it out if it's something technical or tactical or coaching related. And two, it's probably 3 months in the review mirror of where I'm already on to something new.
Yeah.
At that point. So some examples. I'm going to do a coach's lesson on developing team communication. Another one will be on practice planning on how to improve your goalie. Another one will be on kind of going back what correlates with future success around scouting. So some lessons from scouts that I've been talking with, and that came out of the NHL draft. So now it's, pump it out 3 months. And then this week we'll be talking about why I think Lane Hudson, despite being 5'9", is really pushing through a new era for NHL defensemen. And really, he's just building on top of what's already there, but he just takes it to a new level. So he's an exciting little prospect who's got, I think, a ton of upside and plays defense in a modern style and a survivable way at 5'9" for the NHL level. Who's obviously a unicorn. I feel like the last guy that I can remember that was truly at that level. I mean, you got like Gerard and whatnot, but I'm just thinking like the highest of levels, like a Brian Rafalski type. Yeah. Different styles, but same idea. So that's kind of some of the topics that we're going to be covering in the future. I've got some that it doesn't let me post out yet because I'm wanting to time it up with certain times of the year. So I've just got those like, this is going to be for November. This will be for December, just when I think it's pertinent to get in front of people's eyes and things to be thinking about.
When you do your newsletters, what would be your target group? Like, what would be the age level, the bandwidth of the direction of what you're intending your sharing of your knowledge for?
Greg Revak of 3 or 4 years prior. That's who we're writing to. But no, it could be used for a wide range, whether it be from parents, coaches, players, management, etc. Covers all of that. I think most pertinent would just be from a coaching perspective. Obviously that's what we all are. So these topics ring very true, but you can take it for many different levels. But yeah, I'm always writing to myself from 3 or 4 years prior. Yeah, if only you knew. You could have done this better if.
How have you changed over since you began?
I feel like I've definitely gotten better at being shorter to the point. A lot of these things, it's just been on the exploring journey and following the rabbit holes and curiosities down. So a lot of this is just the learnings that I'm having personally. So it's almost like a trail of, this is a good idea. Some of these things I've either been testing out with or I've been doing for quite some time. I think back to when I first started, we all go through the yelling, telling, and I always laugh. Like as soon as someone gets a whistle for the first time and is going to coach, I'm going to fix these players up, and they're going to just, we're going to win the league championship. We're going to win the nationals, and we all quickly learn that that's, not the case. It's not that easy, and you're dealing with human beings. And for me, it's just a forever ongoing journey of how do we help people better. and help them improve, help them become what they want, help them become the people that need to become. And I always joke that really I'm just trying to create great taxpayers. You know, if they're great taxpayers, they're probably good citizens of the world, doing well by others, being great husbands, fathers, contributing members of society, rather than leeches on the world.
Oh, it's very, very interesting to hear you talking about these things. Uh, you're today's generation, and I think the game's going in a good direction. Um, I, I really didn't know how this would go in terms of different topics and styles because everybody on here has so much experience, and we're all locked into the way we've done things. And I think just the idea of being open-minded and going down rabbit holes and experimenting and trying different things and realizing being open-minded. That's the biggest thing with coaches in my mind.
Yeah, the biggest thing with that too, Wally, is I find sometimes you run across coaches that they want to be right rather than finding what is right. That those are the people that I'm attracted to, are the ones that, like, they don't care who gets the credit. They just want to be more right than they were the day prior. They want to be less dumb. They want to have the ability to continuously learning. And that's what I hope my kids get. Cause life is continuous learning and just finding out, like, okay, yeah, I may be wrong. I may be stupid sometimes, or may have done the wrong thing, but I'm getting a little bit better. I'm not repeating the same problem. Everyone says that their team goes a little bit after the coach. So I hope my players become further curious, want to continuously improve, and just, be contributing members to whatever their passion is and wherever they find themselves in life. And I just want to find more people that want to do what is right, finding better answers rather than protecting of the kingdom. Again, I know we've kind of talked about this in the past. Jesus can kind of guide some of us, whatever that higher calling is for a lot of us, and just kind of living open-handed and being able to give and bless others and steward well.
What you're doing and how you're doing it, how are you finding the adults you work with, the domain, parents, associations, groups that you're a part of? Are they there for this similar purpose?
I mean, I feel like communication with everyone, all stakeholders, is valuable and important, and something that we need to always be conscious of. Because too often, you can see people get narrow focused, which there's a lot of problems with that. I find, like, I try to put on the Columbus Hockey Coaches Summit, and I'm just understanding that not everyone is as engaged as we are in learning and wanting to get better and sharing and finding community, etc., which is a little disappointing. The same point is, like, what is in our control, our horizons, our timelines compared to what may be on a higher timeline, what works, and how can we best influence the ones that we can reach, and how can we get more to engage and further our reach in a positive fashion. So sometimes you run into a wall and you try to go through it, and other times it's a matter of, are we just banging our head here and it's wasted time and energy? So for me, I'm just trying to find people that are wanting, willing, and open to it, rather than trying to force anything down someone's throat per se. Others are more open to it, and they'll have their agenda and just try to find and give. Maybe we need to think a little bit larger, bigger picture, and how can we serve others better? Because some are open and some aren't, and that's just the facts of life.
Well said. Well said. Well, I want to thank